Hello, hello. Today I'm going to talk about why is it so important to wake up to your spiritual purpose. I talk to a lot of women, and usually I work with women, and a lot of people are asking, what is it that I am here to do? What is it? What is my purpose on earth? What is the meaning of my life? And some people never even ask. But it is super important that you do ask that question and you do find the answer. And I'm going to illustrate to you, I'm going to tell you three stories just to illustrate why or prove to you why it is so important to actually wake up to that true spiritual purpose, ask for it, and to know what it is. The first one is the first question I want to ask you, do you know when you woke up spiritually, at what age? For example, when clients come to me, usually I look at the age of the person because it's interesting to observe when people start wanting the spiritual work like I provide, as I provide. And I know from my experience, working experience, I know for sure that a young person will never come to me because they're not awakened spiritually yet. They might be very much interested in spiritual topics. They might very much talking about the universe and flying out there, but that doesn't mean true awakening. That doesn't mean you are knowing your true spiritual purpose. And so what I've observed, I always make my conclusions through observation. So what I've observed was that a person would come to me somewhere around age 33, and I don't know what bearing 30, why is it 33 or maybe it's 34. I know that it's a famous age in history because Jesus Christ was at age 33, as we know that famous number, but I don't think it has any bearing on what I'm saying. However, at 33, people somehow start really wanting, some of the people really wanting that spiritual work, and they wake up to why exactly they're here, or at least they're seeking for answers. And they already seek they used to um, or rather they have already been interested in spirituality for a while, but they didn't find the answers, so they come to me. And why I'm saying all this, well, and then at the end also there could be it's never late to discover your spiritual purpose, but for some reason later on in life people are just not interested because I guess they're ready to check out and they don't care anymore, which is sad. And that's what, again, I'm going to explain with my stories today. I personally woke up when I was 25 and I got on the journey, which I teach now, the journey in a journey home to freedom and power. And I woke up at 25. I was very, very lucky to have that awakening and start my spiritual purpose and start my spiritual path at that time. But like I said, from my experience, it's actually quite rare. Well, I understand now. I woke up because I'm a teacher of that. I'm a teacher of the journey. I'm a teacher of ascension. Therefore, I had to do it early so I could prepare for my teaching obligations. But the regular people who do not have that particular purpose, they usually don't wake up so early. I have an example of the interesting experience that this was an exception to the rule. So I had a client who actually didn't believe in anything spiritual, was complete muggle, didn't know anything, didn't believe in God. I didn't even know when she came to my class. I had no idea that that's how she was. But she was referred by her business mentor. So she sort of, quote unquote, had to be here in my class. Okay, and she, well, practically overnight, she got converted because she saw the truth. She heard the truth of my words, and it clicked and resonated with what she was inside thinking and seeking the answers for. And of course, that resonance happened and she got converted. And she told me later. So basically, we found out, we did a past life regression, and we found out she, or rather, she saw it in her past life regression that in one of her past lives, she was a woman who was happily married. She had two children, and her life was pretty uneventful and actually very good. Maybe it was a restful life. I don't know, but she didn't really have any upheavals, anything bad happening to her. So no major traumas, just normal, we say normal life. And she actually didn't know anything about spiritual stuff. She was just normal muggle living her normal life like everybody else without asking any questions, without waking up to anything. She was well to do, she was married, everything was fine, and she didn't need, she was comfortable. And but when she passed on the other side of the veil, their understanding hit and the regret came. She had very strong remorse because she realized, but only on the other side of the veil, she realized that she had wasted the previous life, completely wasted. It was for nothing because, again, she lived as a muggle. She didn't question it, and therefore she didn't wake up to spiritual side of things, and she didn't accomplish her spiritual purpose. So it was a complete waste. Of course, she progressed somewhat a little bit, but when you're doing it subconsciously or unconsciously, you're not really progressing that fast. So that was her story that she told me during our past life regression. And we understood, both of us, we understood why she was so eager at 26. Well, I think she woke up at 26 because she came to my class when she was 26 years old. And so at 26, she already ended up in this class, even though she was strongly, quote unquote, referred by the business mentor. But she was ready to wake up, and she did at 26. And why? Because that memory of regret, the remorse that she wasted last time, that lifetime, that's what made her wake up. So that's an interesting, extraordinary story, in my opinion, because it helped this person to wake up early. So the whole life is ahead of her, and she can now accomplish a lot of things spiritually. And second one is my personal story. I had a dream. Of course, I woke up at, like I said, at 25 years old. So I don't have any regrets because I wish I woke up even like when I was born, but it didn't happen. So 25 is pretty good because 28 years now I've been on the path and very happy about it. So one day, some few years ago, I had a dream, and usually my dreams are very vivid, very informative, and my dreams always show me what I need to process the next day. So they're always for a reason, by the way. Hint, hint for everybody, because your dreams do not come just for no reason. People think, oh, it's just a dream. Well, no, there is big meaning to your dreams. So anyway, but that's a different subject. So anyway, I had that dream, and in that dream, I was in some kind of big space, like a room, but very huge room, and I was walking among hanging bodies. And those bodies, human bodies, they were hanging down from the ceiling, separate from each other, but many of them. And I was just walking around looking at those bodies, and the bodies were they were, well, dead, whatever that means, because they were not decomposing, they were not really dead bodies, they were just bodies. And in the dream it felt very normal, and every body was wrapped in plastic, so they were nicely preserved, nicely hanging, so it's not, nothing was gross or anything like that. So I'm walking among those bodies, and the only thing I was repeating over and over, what a waste, what a waste, what a waste. So when I woke up, I knew immediately what that meant, because I just accessed in my dream those lifetimes. So every body represented a lifetime, the past lifetime, that and that body was me in that past life. So many of them were in the room, and I wasted so many lifetimes, so many bodies, because, and I know why, because I was also very much into the physical world, and I didn't wake up spiritually at that time. So, as you can see, there are two stories from real, actual, true stories. And I personally, as a former master hypnotherapist, doing past life regressions a lot of with a lot of clients, I know that these lifetimes are real. They really happened, or they actually happening now, because there is no time in a continuum. So they're happening at some point. That's why we can easily get there. So back to this. So why this young lady wanted to wake up spiritually? Because she had that memory that she experienced deep remorse of not waking up spiritually earlier in other lifetimes. So she was determined to wake up this time. The same with me. I was apparently determined to wake up early this time, because I had that experience with many lifetimes, and I didn't want to waste any more time. And like I said, I'm super happy about that. And so I would like to also tell you the third story. And this one is already a story about a rich farmer. So there was a rich farmer who had a lot of grains. And finally, he got to the point when he accumulated so much grain that he didn't have storage room anymore. So, and there was another crop, and that crop was so huge, and the rich farmer had to have another storage for that grain. So the rich farmer said to himself, wow, this is so good. I'm going to build even bigger storage facility to store all this grain, and it will last me for a very long time, so I can retire from work and enjoy myself. Well, that very night, God comes to this rich farmer and says, tonight your soul will separate from your physical body, and you are the foolish man. You accumulated so much, such a great physical wealth, but you're not going to take it with you. You're going to leave it behind. Where is your spiritual wealth? And this story truly indicates or shows how important the spiritual purpose is, how important spiritual wealth is to all our lives. And this is so important that I know I am going to teach again and again and again about, because people need to remember your life is not about accumulating wealth. Your life is not raising children. Your life is not about any physical activities that you live in without asking or questioning. Yes, you do need to do that. You need to be comfortable with money, meaning you don't want to be homeless for sure. But this is not your goal of living here. This is not why you were assigned this physical body. And as a soul, you incarnated or you embody this physical body for a specific reason. You will not just embody this physical body just to walk around, run around here in the physical, feeling overwhelmed, feeling all worrying and struggling and surviving. That was not the purpose of your incarnation. That was not the purpose of you getting into being assigned this physical body. You were standing in line as a soul on the other side of the veil to get this body. And when you got the body, you came here and you suddenly forgot everything, which is true. We do forget everything due to amnesia, but it's time to wake up. It's time to wake up, even if you're interested in metaphysics, even if you're interested in even if you may be religious, whatever it is, whatever your faith is, whatever your belief is, well, it's all good, it's all perfect, but are you aware of your true spiritual purpose? Are you aware of your true spiritual mission as well on earth? There are two different things. So today, I hope I have proven to you with my three stories about the very much importance of waking up to your spiritual purpose. And it's never late, never too late. At any age, you can wake up to that. And talking about that, do you want to know? Well, first of all, do you want to know about this true spiritual purpose? Do you want, but you start with hearing or waking to the fact that divine actually exists in your and very close to you. So, would you like to know that divine really exists very close to you and knows you personally and intimately? Do you know? Do you want to feel it? Do you want to really believe it? Do you want to be very close to the divine? Would you like to hear divine loud and clear? Would you like to have no regrets whatsoever, no remorse when you make any decision? Let it be small, let it be big, it doesn't matter, but any decision you make, it's guided by the divine, and you know this is the best decision because you heard divine loud and clear, not maybe in a real voice, but through the system, through the tools, and you really know what the right path to take, what the right direction to follow, what the right decision to make. Would you like all of that? So if you do, I want you to invite you, and I'm like a parrot bird, keep inviting people to my free divine guidance challenge, which is coming up soon. Oh my goodness, something is happening with the screen, and this is all in gibberish. So I'm going back to me, and I will just tell you myself. So, in my 3-day divine guidance challenge, you will have an opportunity to prove to yourself that divine is close, personal, and present in your life. Open a real two-way direct communication with the divine. Learn how to ask divine guidance so you could receive an immediate answer. And it's clear, it's unmistakable, you understand it, you know how to read it, and you know how to apply it in the physical. You understand why it's super important to learn and apply divine guidance in your business and life. It's the same as very important to wake up to your spiritual purpose. The same, it's very important to communicate with your divine. And you will be challenged, of course, to receive your own divine guidance signs and work with them, because everything we do is the deep spiritual work in the most practical way. And practical way means you do not separate the spirit world from the physical material world. You do not have spiritual on the weekend and being completely focused on the physical during the week time, because that's the old way of doing business and living life, and it's a very, very hard way. So go to irinabaker.com/challenge. It's on my screen, and sign up. And I encourage you to take this opportunity because everybody needs it. And I don't understand why people do not, some people completely ignore their spiritual purpose, their spiritual existence, and actually their own soul. So it's a 3-day, Friday through Sunday, 2 hours each day. And it's the 3-day divine guidance challenge for women entrepreneurs. And please remember, when you follow the divine, money will follow you. And when you serve the divine, money will serve you. Bye now.